Well, hello there, fans. It is I, Big D, coming to you live and in person with another exciting video. Well, I don't know if it's exciting, but it's a video. Hey, 1 out of 2 ain't bad. I'm sitting here for my last pickup, waiting for them to get ready. I'm about 35 minutes ahead of schedule. And which is part of the reasons why I'm going to explain why I'm ahead of schedule. For one, and that ties into the topic that I am going to list this as today. And yeah, a Cincinnati Courier company is being sued by its drivers. That's right. I talk about your 1099 status, what that entails, and what the legal ramifications of a 1099 are. But this company, United Courier, did I say the name? Yes. United Courier is being sued by some drivers for treating them like employees. That's right. You see, if you act as if they're employees, technically they will be considered as an employee by the IRS, the state, and a few other agencies. Now, here is what the claimants are saying. Now, this is going to be a class action lawsuit. And I'll tell you how this happens and why it's actually taking place. And it's really kind of funny. But a former driver whose wife is an attorney, key point, whose wife is an attorney, filed suit and stated that he was treated as an employee and therefore he wants, monies for his vehicle, his time he sat, and everything else. And a few drivers have laughed it off, and, you can, but they have a problem here, and it's going to bite them. And I'll explain that here in a second. And being that it's really only going to cost them a few $100s to take a shot at this, why not? You don't have to pay the attorney. That's the wife. She turns it into a class action suit, which means she gets more monies. And therefore, they can hit the jackpot. Ching, 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 ching. And here's how this works. Here's what happens, and here's the claimant. They were treated as an employee. In the state of Ohio, and these standards are about the same in every state, but you'll have to look them up. But in the state of Ohio, you're considered an employee if you have to be trained on the job, or you're given a specific schedule of when you pick up, where you pick up, and when you deliver. If you're done that way, you're an employee in the state of Ohio. Well, this company has a history of doing exactly those things. You see, most of these companies out there want the benefits of a 1099, so they don't have to pay anything, benefits or anything like that. And they want to pocket all the money, of course. And they don't want any liabilities. But they want you to be an employee. I mean, this company actually went as far as to say in a memo that they're going to start requiring you to work weekends because they couldn't get any drivers. Can't do that. No. Cannot do that. You're a contractor. You decide when you want to work. Boom. Now, how are they getting nailed? Well, oh gosh. If you have to train somebody on the route, they train every driver on their routes because they're complex. 2, if you give them a specific time and order to do it, you are an employee. They give you out route sheets that say at the bottom, you start here, you pick up at this location at 8 a.m., you're here at 8:30, you're here at 8:45, you're here at 9 o'clock, you're here. And well, this is what the customer wants. I don't care what the customer wants. You have to basically say, here are the pickups. Here's the time frame. And it has to be a reasonable amount of time, too, by the way. And I'll explain that in a second, too. And basically, you have to have it delivered by this time. Reasonable amount of time. In other words, I can give you 4 pickups and it has to be done between, say, 9 and 11. You have 4 stops between 9 and 11. You have to have it at the lab by noon. That's reasonable. It's way more time you need, but let's just say that's what it is. That's okay, because I can sit back and say, okay, I'm going to do, they wanted this one picked up first. Now I'm going to pick that one up third. I'm going to do this one because I'm going to do it in the order in which I want to do it because it makes sense to me. That's a contractor. When you give out a sheet that says you got to be A, B, C, D, E, F, G in that order these times, you're an employee. You wonder why Quest and LabCorp and all those hired drivers and bought vehicles and paid by the hour and all that? Because you couldn't get around that stipulation. That's why. So this company, like I said, they were notorious for putting out, like I said, reasonable amount of time. Well, I give you an unreasonable amount of time, and I pointed it out to the operations manager. The general manager, because the operations manager is the idiot who wrote it. Oh, that's between you and Joe. I live in Lebanon, Ohio. And they had a pickup that picked up in Lebanon, which was no problem. It's just down the street from my house. That was easy. I had to go to Hamilton, Ohio. I got 15 minutes. 15 minutes, folks. It's 18 miles away. I got to go through 2 cities. It'll take me 15 minutes just to get across Lebanon to get on 63 to go basically the remaining 15 miles. It's a 45-minute drive. 15 minutes? Unreasonable. Totally unreasonable. Then they put it in the order and said you had to be at the lab at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. No exceptions. So if there's an accident, we got snow, the road's closed, no exceptions. You can't do that. They did. Well, this driver's wife knew the law. She's an attorney. She's suing them and getting drivers for the last 3 years. There's 2 class action suit in with them because she'll get paid a percentage on each of them. And they're going to settle this out of court because there's no way to win it. Right now, courier companies are getting hammered by municipalities, state, local, federal, for this very purpose. You see, they basically treated their drivers as employees and demanded things which an employee had to be held to. And now they're basically paying the price. And there'll be a settlement here. When I find out what it is, I'll let you know. Several drivers who work there have contacted me about the issue and really didn't understand what it was about. And they read me the paperwork. And of course, all of them got the same one. I go, it's a class action lawsuit claiming that they treated you as an employee and therefore you're entitled to your back benefits, wear and tear in your vehicle. They should have been paying you mileage. All kinds of fees. Your downtime when you sat and waited, you should have been paid on the hourly. Hey, it's going to be costly. But that's what happens when companies go out and do the wrong things. And when you're out there on the road, you're going to see this. You think they're the only ones doing it? Oh, no. Now, like today, for me, instance, I have freedom to do whatever I want on this route. They give me, look, we got these pickups here. The order in which you pick up, it's my choice. Today, I've made a decision to pick up the third pickup. I'm going to do it second. And in doing so, I got here a half hour early. Why? Because they're not going to get it out the door till 7:20. I can already have the other one across the street in the car be sitting there at that time. That's right. I don't have to wait on them. I made a decision to flip it. I will change things up on this route as I see fit, depending on the day. I'm a contractor. I'm allowed to do that. I do it all the time, and I tell people, hey, flip it around to make it work for you. As long as it's getting picked up in the lab on time, no one cares, to be honest. They really don't. And people think they do. No, they don't. All they want it there is off their shelf, and all you have to do is talk to the people. Hey, I'm going to do this. You care? No, they don't care. They really don't. So, you got to understand what a 1099 is versus an employee. 1099 is you. You're self-employed. Therefore, you don't have to work weekends if you don't want to. They cannot make you. You're a contractor. They can't make you work holidays either. I don't care if they need drivers till they're blue in the face. I'm not getting paid any extra, so why am I going out there? That's a shocker. You work on holidays and you don't get paid any extra. Don't tell me that. I don't do that. I'm sorry. If everybody else at the hospitals and everything are getting time and a half or double time, I'm getting double. If I'm not running. So that covers today's topic of 1099. Company getting sued for treating their drivers, their contractors, as an employee, violating the two standards in the Ohio law of 1099. Can't train them. If you have to train them, they're not a contractor. That makes perfect sense if you really want to think about it. You don't hire a bricklayer and go, when they get there, train them how to lay bricks, do you? Right. Okay, that's why that's in there. 2, you can't specify a specific route and lay it in an order in which they want it done. If they're doing it, and you are not allowed to flip it around, if you do, no one says anything, you're a contractor. But if they don't, if they're going to harden it, you're actually an employee. So those are your distinguishing factors. Check with your states. That's Ohio. Most states have the same litmus test, as I call it. In case you're wondering, most of them out there follow each other. They're very similar. Now, I have actually ordered something that I'm going to be using on a channel. It's like a selfie stick. It's on a gimbal and it flips around and all this stuff and sound and whatever, Got it for vacation, but I figured, why not use it here? Hey. And I'm gonna be doing a video coming up on the vehicle here, the van, because I noticed something, and it's how can you tell if your shocks are bad? Well, I'm going to show you, because the shocks, I got one shock blown in this van on the passenger side, and you're going to be able to tell it just by looking at the tire. And I'm going to show the installation process of how to put a shock on. Rear shocks. Look, folks, you're in business for yourself. Every penny you save goes in your pocket. So if you can buy the parts for, say, $40 each, good gas, I put Gasmatics in there. You can get $20 shocks. I want the gas to good heavy duties. And I ordered them. They'll be in Friday, and I'll put them on this weekend. It's 2 bolts on each of them, so you can see how easy this is going to be. And I'll explain why gas shock's in, but I'm going to let you see. I'm going to show you how you can tell. And I'm going to start doing some of the maintenance, and I'm going to start showing the maintenance just on this van. It's similar to everything out there. You're going to be able to see that it's going to correlate to anything you drive. How to do this. And then you're going to say, this is easy. Anybody can do it. So, yes, anybody can do it. You should be doing it, saving the money. I think that you should learn to save money, too. So, that being said, like the channel. Subscribe to the channel. Share the channel. I wanted to be the biggest channel out there. I had someone say something about an EB addict or something is full of BS or whatever. I don't know. I never watch them. But they're telling you're making millions of dollars out here being a medical courier. Just so you know, the lowest bidder gets the contract. Shocking, isn't it? So, a lot of the stuff you're told is clickbait, hype, and everything else. That's because they're trying to make money selling books, t-shirts, and hats, and, that kind of crap. And, they're going to be YouTube millionaires and, whatever. They have the professional sound studios and, whatever. Me, I got an Apple 8. I got a new phone, so, hey. That's why it took me a few days to figure out how to upload it. Once I figured it out, it was easy, and I had to get a camera for the monitor at the house because I'm doing that interview I was talking about with the national radio show. So I got those things, and that the total cost for both will be $150. But I'm going to be using them for other things, so what the heck. The little gimbal thing, I'll show you that when it comes in. It's going to be here today, in fact. And I got that for vacation and, looking at RVs, and someone wants to see some RVs. I'm going to actually post RVs on here, too, so you can see them on the channel while I'm looking at. And I'll go over some stuff like that. But for now, this is Big D saying subscribe, like, follow, share. If you don't like the person you're sharing with, I'm not proud. Later.